Hey everybody, this is Chris, Slime Time with the Slimy Wolf Crypto Talk. Still not getting 100% used to saying that, but let's see. Uh, Slime Time, how are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. Glad it's coming up on the end of a week. It's been a long week, been a slow and quiet week. It feels like in the crypto world, in my opinion. I hadn't really seen too much going on other than like I guess there's been some heated debates in Polar and talking about trying to get 3.1 going or something like that. I don't just catch the breeze of the talk as it goes by.
Oh yeah, Polar. Apparently yesterday they ran out of rewards twice.
But they've been doing that because they've been printing or they've been
Yeah,
been
but
doing them for printing.
twice in one day within a few hours because I remember seeing about rewards are ran out, nobody can claim, and then I looked on the Discord and it was like around 10 or 11 at night, and that was true. And then I went back on at 1 a.m. and once again they ran out within 2 hours. So
That's just going to keep happening. I mean, like there's no stop to the leakage. They built up so much, and now that they've been depleted, like that, it's just gonna nobody's buying in. Everybody's just wanting to sell, sell, sell.
and so many nodes are like that.
Well, it's that's the thing is all node projects weren't ever going to last unless they created a utility, true utility.
I actually think I found a way around that. I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
going to discuss it right now because I got to research it a little more, and I don't want people to steal the idea either.
gotcha.
But yeah, I may have found a way around it. The thing to doing this though is it would kind of bring down the security level of it, the trust level of it, because you know, I'm not going to bring it up right now. I'll talk
All
about it
right.
with my team. But
Yeah.
if anybody's interested in it, keep an eye out for the white paper I'm going to be having coming out soonish, hopefully. There's a few things debating, but for those of you who don't know, we are creating a crypto or something called the Wolf Pup Project, which still working on a lot of the details, but it's coming along nicely. But this podcast necessarily isn't about that, but I just there may be a way around it. Of course, there will be also utilities involved. There has to be
Right.
utilities,
Yeah.
or else it is just straight Ponzi.
Mm,
But I may have found a way around it, and
yeah.
I'm definitely gonna. Uh, we do have a Discord for the group, so I feel free to join, but I do want to see if we can do like a mod meeting today or tomorrow to discuss that sometime.
Gotcha.
Uh, but
Well, that's interesting. Indeed.
other than that, yeah, I did see one project that actually has a utility that may be really a really possibly strong utility that I never seen before
Yeah.
that I like. Not sure if you saw, we were discussing it in the Discord yesterday, the Imaginary Friends project.
No, I haven't seen that one.
So their whole thing is for utility to build a decentralized social network, where it would be like similar to people can post up music and videos like on YouTube, which I may end up taking a lot of my videos over to there. I'll still have a YouTube, but and it's like any sort of financial gain from it instead of getting the 15% YouTube gives the top people. 100% of the creator, 100% of it goes back to the creators.
Well,
Uh,
that's nice.
and yeah, it's just interesting that they're attempting to build a decentralized social media platform, which it's a very interesting concept, and I didn't really get all the way through the white paper, just glancing it because it's a very long white paper. I want to say it's like a 30-page white paper, and they explain the difference between like Web 2 and Web 3 social medias and benefiting of it. And I actually want to see if I could bring that up just so I could bring it. There is just for my own reference, because there is a little chart that they explain it. When I bring that up, do you have anything you want to talk about, pricing or anything like that?
I will say that there is some development. Pulse Chain hasn't come out yet, and it's not looking to come out possibly in June. I don't know. Nobody's put any dates yet because of the securities that they're trying to go over and fix. But there is some wallet development for a Pulse Chain wallet. I don't know if it's strictly going to be Pulse Chain itself or if it's going to be a multiple, platform wallet, kind of like MetaMask. But the basic wireframing design has begun. Working prototype airdrop for free Pulse and whatever IM with wallet download. Chrome extension prototype successfully connected to dApps. Send and receive PRC20. So looks like it's just going to be strictly a wallet to utilize on the Pulse chain, from what I've gathered. But
I mean,
very interesting.
at least it's the wallet based around their chain and their coin, and not just a random wallet like GameStop's doing.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
I didn't. I heard about it, but I didn't get to take a look at it.
The only thing I could think of is either two things. One, GameStop is getting desperate because they had that miracle stock thing last year, which kind of kept them afloat. And now that's kind of drying up. So they're doing this as a way to get into crypto space. Or two, maybe there is some logic to it where this wallet would be needed to hold in-game purchases for NFTs. Like maybe there'll be companies that'll start like making like certain weapons that you could use across multiple games.
Yep.
And you would need to have this NFT. So if you want to use I don't know what Fortnite. I never really played Fortnite, but I know the weapons look weird. So maybe if you want, well, let's say wolf. If you want to use a wolf shaped rocket launcher, you get that NFT, use that, and then maybe somehow see if you could switch that over to use that same wolf shaped NFT in Call of Duty, which honestly, that may be kind of fun to see guns looking like wolves in Call of Duty.
Right. I could see maybe the possibility of like getting to a point to where they can use it to allow people to somehow rent games through their, like if they do a rent service, or an online rent service or an online, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like I can't remember the old game. I guess GameFly. When at GameFly you could rent and they'd ship it to you.
Yeah, the PlayStation has like something on their store similar to that where they won't send it to you, but actually no, it's not. It's actually a subscription based thing where if you buy the subscription you can play all of it. I'm sure Xbox probably has it too. I'm not an Xbox person. I know you are. Do they have like a subscription thing where you can play these cloud-based games?
Yeah, they do. They started that. I can't remember if they started that a couple of years ago or a year ago or something like that. But basically, you pay a subscription and you have access to not only cloud-based games, but you have access to download like the whole Halo suite if you want to, and play. And either not download it and just leave it on the cloud, like you said, cloud-based. But they have a lot of games that you can. I think it's called Game Pass. That's what it's called, and you can download and play, strictly through the cloud service and whatnot.
So I'm personally a fan of physical games. Maybe it's just because my age. I don't know. I like having it. Plus, some of them can actually really appreciate and value.
Oh yeah.
Some don't, but I know there's like at least, well, I can't even guess the amount of numbers, but there are PlayStation 1 games that I never heard of, and some I have heard of that are going for just disc alone can go for north of $100.
Wow.
Um, I know I actually got really lucky because I think like one game I got for from a Goodwill for like $4. It was actually a Goodwill auction, so it was actually like I want to say it was like for like maybe 80 different Xbox 360 games, and it broke
Hmm.
down to like $2, $3 a game. One of those games are valued is like $60. And plus it's a really great game, but I think maybe we can touch base now on NFT games because we kind of talked about that before. I do think that's going to be a strong thing, and I I do think we should touch base a little more on that this episode since we didn't really have something big to go over.
Right.
But before we do that, I do want to did bring up about this white paper for imaginary friends. It looks like that their project is going to um, have the following as claimed it to be in their competitors. It's
Mhm.
OpenSea, Rarible for NFT marketplace, and then also going to be OnlyFans, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Kind of surprised Facebook's not on there, but pretty much they're going to have a social media platform, a subscription based platform, 0% subscription fees, the marketplace, a pay per view option, a native token, it says DeFi. It's going to be able to do live streaming gifts, live streaming NFT gifts, content ownership, and multi cross chain. This is the only thing they don't have is abusive algorithms that they check mark all the ones I named previously as having. So
Mhm.
once again, this is a very long white paper in comparison of some of the white papers I did. 39 pages, 39 pages, but like 3 4 of those pages are actually more than that. Like 6 of those pages are references. It's a very, from what I'm seeing right now, if you don't know much about the NFT world or the Web3 world, I think this white paper will actually help you learn about that along with teaching you about what they're planning. So it's interesting concept to go for that I'm going to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting for sure.
Uh, but yeah, so let's get into games. I know we talked a little bit about them before we were sharing with another episode, but I do think they are going to be growing. Um,
Yeah.
and it's just like we mentioned before, the games are not games.
Right.
They're you get an NFT, you power up your NFT. You give us money to power up your NFT. Your rewards will increase while rewards are still available. That's the game.
Right.
That from what I'm seeing with most of them.
Yeah, which isn't a real game.
No. Um, I'm actually very excited for the Wolf Pup project because it is going to have a game aspect, but it's going to be a lot different. Just giving that quick plug out. I'm not going to go into details on it that much right now, but um, I think we need games that are actual games. Um, whether it be like an actual physical game or a competition based game. Like, what are your ideas on what an NFT game should be compared to what they are?
I think that it definitely should be more of a game aspect. And I could see where the competition games, where basically you have tournaments, nonstop tournaments year round, just different, different tournaments, like a tournament. Like if you could get to a point where like you do like with Thor, the gods of arena or whatever, having different level tournaments throughout the month, and basically, you kind of a pay in to level up, but also, the winner or the top three or whoever finishes in the top 3 or 5 or whatever, they get a decent payout or something.
But
To
is
me,
it
that would be a huge incentive to get people involved in it.
the question is with ones like that is how, like, are you actually playing it or are you just leveling up your character to be stronger and then it's like an AI battle?
I could see both. I could see where, to keep it simplified, if you're doing major tournaments, like where you've got, more than 50 people involved in each tournament, I could see it being an AI just to keep the, pace. Because if you tried to do, actual tournaments where people had to get on, and well, I mean, it's still going to be time based, I would think, in my opinion. I feel though that if that was the case, and it wasn't a cost of an arm and leg to up, upgrade your and add to your NFT or character per se or whatever. So like I even think that would be pretty cool, like legit, like to create a game where you're not tied to an NFT, you're tied to a character. You get what I'm saying? Instead of purchasing an NFT, now let's say that is your proof of authenticity. The NFT, which isn't truly a proof of authenticity or whatever, but you buy a character and then that character is yours for life, basically. And instead of it being like an NFT, we could call it something else.
So
And
would you want to see them be able to sell the character if they don't want to continue?
that or trade. I think a trading platform would be pretty cool. Um, just like what D&D, you traded for D&D cards, you traded for Pokemon cards, you traded every game platform like that had some sign of like you collecting something, you were able to trade. I think a trading platform would be awesome, to a point where like, okay, you got one game and it'd be a multi-game, trading platform. Like, oh, hey, I've got Thor's got Arena's Freya, and then this new game over here, Captain Poopy Pants. You need 5 of the jelly poops to get one Freya. Kind of, just something like that. I think that would be pretty cool, pretty interesting. I think that would keep people, kind of intrigued, to be able to, not limited to just the one game and having to take care of that, but like it's all, you know, multi, almost like a meta, like almost like Ready Player One or whatever kind of deal, that kind of platform.
I
Similar to
never
that.
actually seen that movie.
It was pretty cool, in the fact that basically you could be whoever you wanted to be in the world, and but you still had to power up. You paid for things, and I think that's where like everybody gets their like. I want to say the metaverse and everything. Everybody got that idea to start building that from that game, from that movie. Like everybody that I've ever talked to that's seen that movie would love to be able to do what they do. Any gamer, real gamer, like to be on a multi omnidirectional pad where they can run in any direction whatsoever. To be able to like do the almost live action kind of playing, which they're out there now, but it's like 20 grand or something to buy one of those things. But no, I think I think the game aspect to it is really great, and I do think, like you, that should be an actual game. I don't know how you incorporate, besides maybe doing tournaments or maybe
You'll
quests.
after we're done, we'll talk for like 5-10 minutes if you're cool.
Yeah,
So you can see what I'm planning.
I got you.
Like I said, I don't want to get the information out right now because there's a lot of hurdles with new NFT regulations coming down the line
Right.
that I have to try and sort out the best way to get the startup funds. So I can't give too much information out because I don't want it stolen because it
Yeah.
is a freaking genius idea. I did go over this with one of the other mods and she thought it was a great idea. And
Gotcha.
I mean, everything I come up with, I don't know if you're just being nice, but you say, "Oh, I love that idea. I love that idea." It's either
Well, I
I
mean,
am a
you're trying. You're
genius or you are really nice.
well, no, you're trying to bring new ideas to the table in this space. You're not trying to just copy. Like I would tell you, I would be upfront and honest, and like be like, well, you're just copying so and so, or you're just trying to follow in their shoes, but you're not. You're trying to be innovative, and you're bringing out ingenuity and trying to create something new and growing. And to me, that's the crypto space.
I'm
Always
really, yeah.
evolving, always
I
growing.
I am really against straight up forks. Like there's so many of them.
Right.
And a lot of times are failing, but I mean that's just there could be multiple reasons. It could be the market, it could be the type of project they're doing it. But I really feel like if you're going to develop something, you have to have something new and innovative. And if you don't have that, if you're just straight up forking, at some point there is going to be a time where you need to reevaluate things. And if you're just pulling out, like, just pretty much going into a contract and copying the contract itself and forking it, if you run into that issue, how are you going to fix it? Because
Right.
it doesn't show that you have any creativity to reevaluate and adjust. And I think that's key in this space is you need to constantly be adjusting your project to make it last. And I don't see people doing straight up forks being able to do that because I mean they don't have enough fresh idea from the beginning. How are they going to fix it when it goes south?
Oh no, there most anybody who does just a straight fork is just trying to see if they can make a quick buck. Every node project has been that way, except for the ones now that are trying to evolve themselves, even though they're taking a whole lot longer now to evolve themselves than they did getting their nodes out there and up and going. You know, Vapor, Red Light, uh, Project X, which I don't really know other than a couple of things like that. Project X is knowing a few things here and there out. Let's see here, Bloom or you know,
I don't know, Bloom.
Bloom
I mean,
is
Polar to an
dark.
extent, maybe. They're not releasing any information on what they're doing. They're just giving teasers, which
So Bloom was Dark Forest. They just
okay.
changed the name to Bloom,
I'd still
and
have my leaf that's worth maybe half a cent right now.
yeah, they're supposed to they're redoing some things, and there's announcements about if you own the I can't even remember what the other one was called, um, Leaf, and the other one that they had. I don't know why I can't think of the name,
Begin
but
with an
you
N.
Nart, yeah, Nart, yeah. If you had Nart and Leaf, you're gonna get some kind of Bloom, something. I don't know exactly what. I've been trying to keep tabs on it, but like nobody's really. Just like I've been trying to keep tabs on Red Light, keep tabs on Project X, keep tabs on Thor, and even Mead, which is the token of the tavern.
What's going on with Mead? Are you
It's
still getting printings?
yeah, I'm getting like because it's down to 26 cents a token. I'm actually making over five. I'm producing 5.1 mead a day now with my 2 home kits, which I don't know how the brewers or breweries
What,
are
like,
actually doing.
so you're getting like 250 a day and they were what, $50 each?
They were at their where are they? They were 100. They're $100 a piece.
$200 and
Yeah.
making so about roughly still at 100-day ROI. Is that what they claimed? Well,
They
less.
were it was less than that. Originally when the price was up, when I got in, I was only producing like point zero 8 or something like that a day. But now since it went from like $8 down to 26 cents, you know, I'm sitting on right at almost 193 need. It's valued at $51. So I'm just letting her grow because they still have an 18% claim tax.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh,
The funny thing is, I have enough to create a brewery, but they won't let me compound into a brewery, which I thought was funny.
Actually,
Even though,
160-day ROI.
yeah,
Is that right? $200 it cost.
see, the funny thing
And
is, it
they're bringing
cost
out
100.
you have, well, you said you're getting about 250 worth, right? A day?
Yeah, five mead, a little over 5 mead a day at 26 cents.
No, 100 a piece. You have two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 160-day ROI. That's like half a year. Do you think they're gonna survive or bounce back?
Well, I haven't seen them. They slowly drop. I don't like. They keep. I think they keep talking about a game of some sorts, or they were trying to host games. Or something. I
Where
like.
you could buy vodka now and increase that? Is that your game?
I
You're
don't.
gonna make them spend on vodka purchases and rum purchases, and for only 10 mead bottle of Coke, so you could do rum and Coke.
Uh, your guess is as good as mine. I know they jumped. I jumped on the passive poker thing, like a couple other ones have. They do it. The thing is, they do an AMA every week. I just never jump on it because I don't ever see them talk about. Okay, so they do have an AVAX validator. That happened back in April, which I don't know what that's producing, but
I can't wait to get mine. At least my delegator. I'm hoping next week.
yeah. But I like. There's no. I guess you got to be a part of the AMAs um, to know what's coming up.
If anybody's been part of those AMAs and knows about their game, if it's more than just a power up your NFT to get higher rewards, um, which I honestly don't think is a game. You need more aspects to it.
So they're coming up with tavern games. They've been developing
Tavern
the
games, it
dice.
sounds like sphere games where it's more like kind of just like competitions that you could enter.
Yeah, it's saying
Which I mean, I think is a good thing.
it's a
It's something I want to actually incorporate a little bit. As long as it's done legally,
yeah.
I think that could be helpful. And as long as it's quote unquote skill based, because I know you love that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Um, but I like the lotteries aren't legal, but of course, if you're in, like we talked about last week, if you're in Navis, you can't really be touched with that. But it's also just boring, not fun. You really don't know what's going on. I need to see stuff in action. That's why with my giveaways, I do a wheel that everybody can actually see if they choose to.
Hmm.
But a lot of these like lotteries, like actually, what was it? I was watching a YouTube video on something, and they were talking about how like you have all these places that will um offer up it was a crypto one, and they say, oh yeah, we'll give away a Tesla. Um and I'm not pinpointing anybody, this is just something I saw in the video. I only know of one project that's quotes to give away Teslas, but I'm not gonna go in because I don't want to give them a bad name because I don't know if this is factual or not. But from this video, apparently there's quite a few of them, which I only ever seen one, but they after the lottery, they will actually send you the money in Ethereum instead of sending you the Tesla. But the question is this their grandfather on their mother's side who's getting this Tesla? Or is it
Right.
actually legit? And you can't really tell that.
Yeah. Very interesting. It's it's all until somebody gets busted for something or gets popped by the SEC, like everybody's going to keep doing and trying under the sun.
Yeah, and it's gonna come, and then once that happens, then they start exactly this is what happened with Rainship. Nick didn't get caught, but he knew it was coming, and it's coming, especially since Congress is talking about it. Um, and I don't know exactly, I didn't look into it because I just found out literally like 20 minutes before this podcast started. Apparently, New
Mhm.
York State's cracking down on Bitcoin miners in New York.
Well, that's
Um,
good. That's awesome. Get rid of them.
you just want to stay down just as long as it's not state urine, right?
Yeah, right.
But no, it's coming, and I think it's going to be sooner than later, especially after Luna, which we talked about this before. And when they do, uh, it's yeah, like if you're in another country, they can't really touch you until they can figure out a way around it if they ever can. Apparently, it's something they've been trying to figure out for like 70 years though, so I don't think they're gonna anytime soon with that. But and so for the investors, I mean, I guess it's safe if they're registered in Navis or Cook Islands, but once again, not financial advice. Um, and like we said before, there's definitely the aspect of 50 years ago, if you're registered a business in there, you're doing something fishy. Nowadays, maybe not the case. Of course, there still are fishy businesses, I guarantee, in those countries. But
Yeah,
it's
absolutely. They're islands, so of course they got fish.
and I'm just wondering, like, the question is now, are if they can track down your IP address from your wallet, which I don't know if they would go to that extreme for these giveaways. If it's valued over $600, you're gonna have to pay taxes on
Right.
it. I don't know. I think Congress has a lot of work to do to try and figure this out. Part of me wants regulations for this, and then part of me doesn't. It's uh, it's very tricky. I'm very on the fence with this. I think it will help protect a lot and get rid of a lot of these scam coins, but at the same point, it's gonna hurt. It may end up eventually hurting the people who get these, who win these competitions or win these giveaways. And it may eventually hurt projects that are actually out there to do a good thing.
Plus, it always definitely hurts the little guy, the small investor that's trying to build something. It always hurts them the most. And then the scammers, it may take the scammers a month to figure out how to new ways to get around the new regulations. And don't get me wrong, like I'm all for regulations, but sometimes I think it's better to be able to handle things yourselves. Like it sucks that it's a digital world, and you can't like find the person that screwed you over and walk up to them and be like, all right, let's throw down high noon. Let's do it.
Like, I don't know. I did make a few shirts that because I'm working on building up a merch store. And I made a few shirts at 100% of the profits. So I haven't sold any yet, unfortunately. Go to the victims of Rainship. And that just for you saying that just reminded me of the one shirt I had where the logo is a pirate ready to fight you. And in text above says, "You want to steal my die?" And underneath, "Meet me on the poop deck."
That's good. Oh, that's good.
That's probably my favorite one I made for the Rainship series.
Yeah, that's good.
But
But yeah, um,
I don't know. We definitely went from games to regulations. Which one do you want to keep on? Because I mean, I
doesn't
think the regulations
either
are
one
gonna
though.
come, and
Yeah. Well, see, and then okay, so you take both those aspects. All right, you got the NFT games, and you got
quote
regulations coming down
games,
the pipe for
quote unquote
quote
games.
unquote quote unquote games. Well, eventually, I think it'll actually get to true game platforms, and But then you take the regulations. Okay, so if it's NFTs, quote unquote games, are they still considered securities because you're looking to earn a profit?
According to the according to the SEC, yes, if you buy with the expectation of getting a profit, that is one of the four things in the Howie test.
I
So
feel like we need to find Howie.
we need to
Have a,
just, I'm not gonna say that in case
find Howie. Have a
anybody,
chat with.
I'm not gonna say that because I don't want someone to actually do it, but, and then us get in trouble for it. So I'm just gonna not say what I was thinking. Did have to do something with orange trees. I'll just give you that much.
Orange trees in the groves of Alaska is where that
Yes.
took place.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's where they were. If you want to do it, go find the orange tree owned grove owned by Howie in Alaska and burn it down.
Yeah,
This was in the 30s. I wonder if Howie still has an orange grove.
I'm sure Howie the third does.
Oh, I really liked oranges too. It's sad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why couldn't it be apples? I like apple juice, but I could live without it. I like apple pie. I like everything made of apples, but I don't like apples. Is that weird?
No, everybody has has their thing. I mean, I'd have been satisfied with pears, perhaps. Been a pear tree,
Uh,
out of a pear grove, whatever they're called. I'd be happy with that.
But I want to see like actual games that like I haven't tested any of them out, but these play to earn games, I think, are
Yeah,
more games than these quote unquote gamify things.
yeah.
Um,
What I don't understand is why nobody's created like a Clash of Clans or that type of a game. So many people aren't expecting to earn anything, but yet they will spend the money to build their stuff up. And I say this from personal experience because it takes so long to build this stuff up. You pay for to get this stuff a little quicker. People do it, especially kids. And I know you can't really, if it's an investment type platform, you can't really have kids doing that. But I'm saying there are people out there that love to waste money
yeah.
24/7. You go to any retail store right now. People are
Anyone
wasting
that
money.
buys nodes right now.
Yeah, that too. But money gets wasted nonstop. Why not have a game like a Clash of Clans game where you're somehow buying up a crypto token and like you could almost create a farm game to where like, oh, you plant this row of corn, as it grows you're earning a percentage of this coin, but if you pay this amount extra of the token, you put this amount extra of the token, it grows a little faster.
Isn't that though? Isn't that what a lot of them are doing now? That's like that's what Spring Nodes is doing, but I still don't know if I consider that a game.
I don't have a clue about that. I
Because
just
pretty much you buy a seed. Well,
yeah,
first you buy the coin, then you use the coin to buy a seed, and then you put it on land. And I'm not sure, there's like two different types of lands. There's one that's the free land, and then I think one that's charge land that can only hold certain types of trees. Because there's 5 different types of trees you can get. And then you can boost up the rewards, I think, or stop it from losing rewards by buying water for it and buying like some sort of seed enhancement or something. It's I just don't know how I consider those. I personally don't consider those games. I consider those, you have an NFT that you're paying to continue to have the NFT to bring rewards. And I
yeah.
guess that's a lot of them are thinking as a game. When I think a game, I sit down and play play Rocket League on my PlayStation. That's a game. I go to the casino and play blackjack. That's a game. It's it's not like I never considered Tamagotchi a game, and I never liked Tamagotchis. I actually had mine dead for about 3 weeks one time because I lost it for 2 days. And there was a lot of Hershey Kisses around. If you guys know what Tamagotchi is, you know what I mean there. I don't really know if I consider that a game. And that's kind of what these gamify projects are. If you take care of your NFT better or you do something to increase it, that'll bring up the rewards. But there's no competition in it. There's no, and I think there needs to be a competition or a difficulty not tied to if you have the money to do it to be a game.
Yeah. Also, like I said, with Clash of Clans, like you go and you battle somebody, then you got competition there. Like I said, tournaments. I think tournaments would be a great aspect to have to bring in incentives. Sort of like golf games where they have a tournament over the weekend, and if you finish in the top 50, you actually you get something. Like you it's not much, but you get something. So I could see competition tournaments like bringing the incentive for people to jump in and get on board. As well as like quest games. Like somehow a quest game, like you make it to a certain level, you get a few tokens. You find
But
this
how,
secret
but
passive.
my question is, how are you getting to the level? Is it by buying upgrades or are you actually doing something
Yeah,
outside of spending money?
I'm actually talking about like legit, like play like a real quest game, and somehow you're earning crypto to play that game.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how that would work out, as in the fact that like how the whoever created that game would build their treasury up. I don't know how that would be
wait
unless you
till
had this
wait
quick
till the
investment.
wait till the podcast is over and we'll talk.
Yeah.
That's I have some ideas with it. Again, not going into details, but so I don't want it stolen because yeah, there's some things I'm brewing up on that I think hopefully you'll like.
Oh, let's shut her down.
You got to be like everyone else and wait. You don't have to wait long though. You have to wait 10 minutes. These
Right.
people have to wait till we can figure it out legally and get the money for it.
Right.
So actually, yeah, that actually brings up something. I know white papers are needed. But how far out should you put it so you don't get your ideas stolen?
I think you should have a roadmap first that leads to a white paper. As long as you give them, and to me, it's sort of like a pamphlet too, as well. The roadmap kind of gives you details, but not the inner workings of the details. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, you can do your quarters or however you want to do it, or your goals for how quickly you want the roadmap to get done. I feel that you know start step one or whatever, create Twitter account or whatever. Step two, have information of what the project is going to be.
Like the mission statement or something.
Yeah, mission statement. Yeah, then create Discord, create then I would think, like, after you got the Discord and you got it up and going, I would say add who the team is, so that way they already know who everybody is before they know the mission statement. They know, to me, doing a roadmap like that and then getting to a white paper, but I wouldn't do it so far out that basically everybody loses interest. To me, I would wait till I have 90% of the project done
For the white paper?
uh, for the white paper. So that way, but that 10% should be small securities or small just testing phases or something like that, to where you know a month tops of getting it kind of ready to go.
Yeah, because it would take a lot of time to build up something really good and innovative. So
Yeah.
I do like that. I was gonna release a white paper soon, but then I started thinking, maybe I shouldn't. Because I have to do a different project prior, which is not going to be, which is going to be based as a way to get money, and there'll be a white paper on that soon. But it's a way I think I can legally get around SEC requirements if they hit hard soon. Um, till I can get it all sorted out. Uh, just don't want to leave people hanging like horse.
Right.
We got something big coming. Here's a picture.
Oh yeah. The pictures make no sense. None whatsoever. Oh hey, we're gonna have this field with this old cart, and then we're gonna put a wire framed horse in it.
So we got technically 12 minutes left. We may cut it shorter because I got another meeting at 3:30 and I'm talking with some people about a collaboration that I'm doing as well. On top of that, I got a busy day today. So, but for the rest of it, let's actually discuss the for any new projects. And yes, of course, this is going to benefit me as well, but it's not the intent to just benefit me. There's a lot of people out there trying to learn the code, which me and Slime Time on their Discord are going to open a weekly kind of coding. Well, we're not experts, so it's not going to be seminars, but like a study group. If anyone's interested in that, definitely check out the Discord.
Yeah, it's
Um,
more of a help each other out.
yeah,
Like,
kind of like a high school study group, but something you
yeah.
actually want to do. Let's see, let's discuss for the people who want to start up new projects or people looking into new projects, wondering why information isn't coming out as quickly as possible. Let's talk about releasing information like we were, like with the white paper. Like, how much information do you need to release? How much to get the hype up without revealing too much? How much is too much? Like with the
I
threat
don't
of getting stolen or losing the hype. You need to
I don't
release
think
information, but too much can be detrimental.
I disagree. I think as long as you've got everything ready, too much is never too much. As long
But
as you
but if you
give
don't
people
have ready,
time,
if you're still working on a contract, you're still building up the marketing, stuff like that.
then just not like take horse. Horse is probably the best example of what not to do, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I get to have this opinion, so I'm gonna say it. I think they are going about everything all wrong. All they're doing is showing pictures. Like pictures only do so much. Like they aren't talking about the project. They aren't talking about. Well, I don't know anymore because I'm not a part of the Discord. But from where they were just showing pictures. They weren't white papers coming a day before the launch or a couple days before the launch. I mean, like, okay, that's awesome. When's launch? But we don't know we're working on it. Okay, I get what you're saying about the buildup, and to me, as long as you like, I wouldn't even start a Twitter account or a Discord just for that project. Now, like what you've done is totally different. You're helping people out with your Discord, but if it's project specific Discord, project specific Twitter, I
It,
would not start those until you were minimum 80 to 85% done building.
oh yeah, it's I mean, there's definitely things that's outside the scope of the internet that is going to be beneficial from the project that I'm planning. There's gonna be things you can do outside that will benefit. And I'm gonna release that information as soon as I feel like it's ready, but I'm not gonna say the benefits of it yet because I don't want to release details on what it's gonna be
Right.
because I don't want it stolen. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about the project and what's going on with the people in my Discord because they're in my community. They want to know what's going on, and I'm gonna give them, but I'm not gonna reveal everything. But there is going to be a separate Discord and a separate this and a separate Twitter once we get closer to revealing. As for the initial NFT, which is more in the building phase of the full project, that may not have its own Discord or Twitter. Just because there's going to be some utility, but very little, and there's no plan for any financial benefit from this NFT. It will allow it will give white paper access, but really it's just a way to get money to actually get the project. So I don't know if I'm going to actually do a Twitter for that specifically. Um, maybe do some marketing when they're ready to release. But I don't think that's a project that really requires one.
Right.
What do you how you think? What do you think of that? Like, do you
No,
think
I totally agree. If it's a project, it's kind of like you've already got your community going. If it's something of that nature that's a part of like that community, like you said, where you're getting it, you're utilizing that aspect of that project for people to learn and to grow in an NFT based world. Also, along with, because let's just face it, right now nodes are dead for the most part. So there's not much to talk about nodes other than one particular mod in our
would
Discord who loves just jumping on other Discords and getting OGs and white lists. And I mean, she's gone ho, love her to death.
she's
She
actually
she
cutting
she
down on that? I actually asked because
she but
yesterday,
she's been on fire for like the last 2 weeks.
well, yeah, yesterday, imaginary friends, because I actually am for I think I mentioned it already, but we are working on possibly collaborating with them, and that's who I'm talking with later, like throughout the next couple of days about that. They actually did a Discord. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was just everyone around, not just our project specific. But
Right.
um, both the marketing person and the founder are in our Discord now. And the person from marketing was talking yesterday, gave a quick overview of what it is, because I allow that as long as you have permission. Don't come in and chill, but if you're nice enough to come in and be part of a community and you're part of a project, I'm gonna give you a stage to discuss it. Just don't come in, do that, and leave. That will not make me happy. But
Right.
um, she came in, I gave her the stage, she gave a little rundown, then she said anybody who joins the Discord today is going to get whitelisted. 6 of us got whitelisted from the Discord, from our Discord. But Marsal wasn't one of them. I asked her about it. She said she's just burnt out on getting all these whitelists. She doesn't know if she's gonna actually get any of them.
Right.
And I think she said she has like 6 or 7 whitelists right now.
Well, that's what I
And
said. Like she was on fire, just going and going and going. And I'd like, hey, more power to her for digging in and
and
doing
I
it
mean,
and learning and all that stuff.
it's not even that. It's like she's winning this in Twitter competitions. And I think it was one NFT. She won a very rare NFT. Like, I think we need a a mod trip to Vegas, and like she needs to definitely go.
Hey, I'm all down for that.
And then we'll just all play roulette and let her pick the number. That's the
There you go.
entire trip. But we talked about her quite a bit. I'm actually gonna see if she wants to come on as a guest and give her experience. I think it'll be good for new people because she hasn't been in very long, but she's learned a lot. Like
Yeah.
one of the things we were talking about white paper is I went into a project and got invited by someone I trusted. Went in there. The project was, I want to say it was Ice Protocol. I haven't been in there since, so I don't know what they're doing. But I went in there. First thing, like few people saw some of my YouTube videos, said they like the videos. You should do a video on us. So one person said, go to CoinGecko and shill us on Twitter. I go, okay, okay. I have no problem talking about your project. Where's the white paper? We don't have a white paper yet.
I can't do a
What?
video. I'm sorry.
I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna leave now. I'll be back when you have a white paper. And Marsal said, you did the same thing with one of them. I can't remember which one it was that she invited you. She was all hyped about it. First thing you said, where's the white paper? They said they don't have one. You left.
I can't remember which one that was. Well, I mean, there were so many that
I
got thrown
think it
out
was
there.
Horse.
Yeah, well, Horse, yeah, definitely didn't have a white paper, and they started talking about, oh, white paper won't be out until the day before launch, and like, okay, yeah, forget you, I'm sorry. Oh, and then you show me a picture. All of a sudden, yeah, not going with you guys. But there were so many split offs that when Polar was hot, and then it almost was like, okay, they saw the writing on the wall that Polar was going to drop, and then so many of the Polar people started talking about creating their own projects, like Frey Labs, or like that popped back up. I remember getting invited to that. I remember getting invited to Ice Protocol, which was supposed to be like I think it's somebody who's from Polar was trying to do that one.
Ice Protocol was, I think, before Polar really blew up. Because
Yeah,
that's the one that happened with me. And I'm not gonna say who it was that invited me, because it is someone that's, I think, trusted in the community, and I don't want to give them a bad name.
right.
But so I don't think they were part of ICE.
I got you. But I mean, just I don't know much. I know. I just remember getting invited to Ice and just like, okay, this is awesome. And then everybody was, from what I remember, it was pretty much like you only get whitelisted if you can get 20 invites. So I was like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, if
I
that's
hate
gonna
doing
be
this. I hate doing those stupid invite thing.
pretty much, if the only way you're gonna get whitelisted is by forcibly shilling the project without knowing about it, that's not a good sign to me.
Yeah. But there were so I can't like there were so many of them. There was like 4 or 5 that popped up in a 2-week time period that were all Polar people trying to get something going. And I haven't heard.
Spring was like that, and then I don't know what happened, but apparently, from my understanding, there may have been some issues with Polar and Spring where Spring doesn't want tied to them because they're
Yeah,
switching over to BNB now. That's from what I heard. I don't know if, and I also heard that in the AMA, Shib is not a part of their Discord. I thought at one point he was. I could be mistaken on that, but it just seems weird that they would switch over to BNB after Polar started crashing.
right.
And I mean, I looked at them, like I said, they claim to be gamify. It's paying more to increase your your tree's health, or it starts dying out, which I think they're stealing from Horde. The thing is, things like that won't necessarily work for you because one, Horde has somehow figured out a way to peg their coin between 95 and 105.
Yeah, they are doing a fantastic job.
So just having a dying out node without the peg of it. And the question is Horde going to be around when everyone starts cashing out? When their thing dies out? How it really depends if people really are into it and rebuy. Which, I
Yeah,
mean, the fixed price is good because rebuy won't be that much more expensive than the initial buy. So I mean, I think it might, but if people decide they don't want to and they all cash out and take the money, which is kind of the whole point of crypto is to get money. If you're tying up your money, so that kind of makes me think it might not too. Um, because they're just going to keep retying up their money unless they're aiming for a long-term retirement with Horde. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see when all these start to die out. after the 300 days, how they're gonna be holding up. But
Right.
we're over the hour at this point. Any last words?
Um, no, I can't say that. Nope. I won't be that rude. Sorry.
Did I cut you off?
No, no, not at all. No, I wasn't.
Alright,
I'm being rude to you. I'm just saying the only thought was just leave horse nodes alone or whatever was going to be. That we'll leave it at that.
you really don't like horse.
Yes. Like it's supposed to be a horse, and then it's Greek wireframe headless goddess people. Like I don't know what it is. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what it is.
Apparently a white paper is out now, by the way.
Well, good for them. It took them 2 months.
Okay, well, yeah, everyone, thanks again. I know kind of talked a little bit about my stuff, which I don't really intend to, sorry. I'm just really hyped about the stuff and it comes out. But if you can always join the Discord if you want. And if you don't, but you just want to listen to this, it's fine. That's fine. Hopefully we'll have Marsal on here to discuss how she got highly involved and within, I don't even think she's been around for 3, 4 months at most, maybe.
Something like that.
And she's a really highly involved, and I think having her come on will be good for all the newer people that's listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
But once again, do hope everybody enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good rest of your night.
Mm-hmm.